Hello again. Um, Once again, it's motion sickness time. Yeah, welcome back. It's the day before Remembrance Day. I've met all my targets in getting people's kilts ready for tomorrow. And I guess it's a little bit of a rant and also answering some questions because I've discovered that if I don't absolutely keep on top of people's questions, then I have trouble finding them again. And when I do have time and scrolling through the comments, so my apologies. Um, this is a kilt, as you can see, it's in the gun tartan. And I'm going to rant a little bit because as I was working on this, I wasn't actually depressed, but I was certainly mourning the loss of my previous supplier, Dalgleish, because this is exceptional cloth. Yeah. Anyhow, so it's just about done, ready for the lining to go in. The fellow lives out of town. He'll be coming in for Christmas. It'll be ready for him. I've left the remnants of a couple of X's on the center pleats. And I just do that so when I'm fitting it to him, I can tell by eye when it's centered, even if without having to reach to see if the end pleat is symmetrical from the small of the back. Somebody had asked, and it was a very good question, about my canvassing system and why I didn't just use a single piece of canvas going the whole way with a hole cut in the middle for the buttonhole. And I've seen that, and it is a good method, with the buttonhole tucked in and sewed down and such like that. I guess the only reason why I don't do that is because this is the method that I developed myself, and I'm rather proud of it. And perhaps it's a little bit more work, but to me, it creates a much cleaner appearance. Now, granted, no one's ever going to see this when the lining is in, but I remember what somebody had said, and I can't remember if it was a course I was on or a course I was teaching, possibly the latter, on boat building, and the student wanted to do a shortcut, and he said nobody would tell, nobody'd be able to see it. And the instructor said, well, you and I will know, and it'll haunt you, frankly, because anytime anyone ever says, oh, nice work, your eye will go immediately to the spot where you cut the corner, even though they can't see it. Now, this doesn't represent, the other method doesn't represent corner cutting, but again, I continue to be pleased by the fact that even where nobody can see it, there's this, if I may say so, rather elegant piece of work. So this one's ready for the lining to go in. I mean, yeah, and to that end, it's the same reason why I sign it under here where nobody will ever see it. I take a picture of it, I send it to the customer, but it's just those little bits of details. And somebody else, I think another question that I'd hadn't answered in time, and now I can't find it, about the size of needles I use. Now, you won't be able to see this in the vid because this is a very small needle, but the type of needles I use they're called betweens, and I used to know what that meant. What are they between? Presumably smaller needles and larger needles. I like them because you can't see it, but they have a rather larger eye, an elongated eye, which makes it easier for me to thread the needles. And I find that I do finer work with a smaller needle, and I do coarser work with a larger needle, and perhaps that's just me. I don't know, but yeah, betweens are the needles that I use. I use the smallest one that I can comfortably hold on to. So there. Yeah, so I'm gonna get the lining into this today and then post a message saying it's ready. Of course, he won't be able to get it for about another month or so. But this fellow is he does the heavy sports at the Highland Games, the caber, the shot put, all of the heavy sports. And when I'd asked him, because he's a weightlifter as well, and I asked him, looking ahead about how this kilt will be altered in the future, because we want this to last at least his lifetime. And I'd asked him, like, are you going to get bigger over age? And he says, I certainly hope so. I certainly expect so. Because again, he's I won't call him a gym rat, but he's quite an enthusiastic heavy athlete. So I've designed this with very deep aprons, very deep overlap. Because Dalgleish, again, not best business sense. I would order 7.4 meters of cloth. I would get extra cloth, sometimes as much as a meter. So this is a little over 8 yards. And I've made the end apron, or the end fold over on the apron a bit deeper, the apron pleat a bit deeper, all of that, because I know this guy's going to get bigger. And also to that same end, pleated to the stripe, because when we pleat it to the stripe, we have a strong vertical element, which is, now, he doesn't give a toss about whether it looks slimming or not, but I think it's a very good look, particularly with this very wide red stripe on the gun tartan, which I think was unique to Dalgleish. So there we go. So I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna get the lining in, put my label on it, set it to one side, pull out the next kilt that I'm going to work on, and possibly go through my kit to see if I can find where the hell I put my medals for Remembrance Day tomorrow. Okay, be good, stay safe, close your eyes if you are subject to motion sickness.